A moment on GB and Dan. Dan came out and issued what was clearly to me a hostage statement written for him by a PR person at GB. Very, very offended by your remarks in retrospect. That's not Dan. There's zero chance that was written by Dan. He was trying to save his skin, I think, there. I don't think it's going to work. I expect that he's going to be fired probably today. You released a text message in response between the two of you laughing about it after the fact to prove Dan wasn't really offended and you didn't really appreciate the pile-on. Can things be okay between the two of you, do you think? I want healing there because I think you're on the same side.
I speak to Dan every day. Like, you know, he also told me that this is what he was going to do. And I went, don't do it, Dan. Don't do the hostage tweet. You know, it's a silly thing to do. And I said, you can also apologize without throwing me under the bus. More importantly and interestingly for him is that he's vulnerable, right? He's not tough. I've learned to be tough. I've been taught to be tough by the circumstances I've experienced in life. Dan isn't tough. He's a brave guy, but he's not a tough guy. And he has experienced the stuff that he's being forced to do to kind of apologize and capitulate to this appeasement mob that GB News has become is really sad for him. But I speak to him every single day. I go, listen, man, this is gonna emancipate you. We're going to find a place, and you know he's going to do everything he can to save his skin. But you know, when he phoned me up and he said, "I've got to send this tweet and I've got to apologize and I'm going to throw you under the bus," I said, "Listen, and without being homophobic, Dan, you're a gay guy. You don't have 2 children to feed. I do. So I have an extra level of stuff that I've got to deal with that you don't have to deal with. And I am loyal to you. I was loyal to you when the Byline Times came out after you. I was loyal to you, and I'm loyal to my friends. And I try and be one of these people in life who walks the walk as well as talking the talk. And sometimes I talk the talk way too much, but at least I walk the walk. And I have huge compassion for Dan. I love him. I think he's a courageous reporter. I think to come out in the British media landscape and do what he's done is incredible. And I think that the treatment he's going to get, possibly, is a mistake for him, because you don't, if they're going to walk you to the guillotine and cut your head off, you should do so with your head held high. You shouldn't do so groveling and begging for them not to kill you. And I think that's his one mistake. But I speak to him every day, and I love him. I'm commanded to love people, right? So I love him. I have no beef with Dan. I have much more beef with the people above who are using him as a weapon, and who are using, and who want to take over the British media landscape. I'm very, very, very curious about people like Paul Marshall and where they come from and stuff like that. But Dan is they've
lost their mission. I mean, Roger Ailes, when you got in trouble at Fox, he had your back. He would stand up to anybody. He would never let the outside, especially not leftists, come in and decapitate his staff. That just wasn't what he would do. He would throw himself in the line of fire, and he would take the bullets for you. This is one of the reasons why so many people feel such deep affection for him, including yours truly. It's all documented in any event. Now what? Because I heard you say on the show and elsewhere, you're starting to wonder whether you can stay in Great Britain. Like you're starting to get a little scared about what your future looks like there. Can you expand on that?
Well, I am scared of this country. I took a very strong stand during COVID lockdowns. I announced every Friday night that I was having a party for everyone who wanted to come, which may or may not be irresponsible, but that's what I thought might as well be honest. I've noticed a real ramping up in the rhetoric against me, in this situation. Now I'm facing a conspiracy charge, and conspiracy is serious. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and walk up a mountain with the person who backs me and who wants my voice in the conversation, and we're going to discuss.
You have a financial backer.
And I think that the conversation I'm going to have is, have we lost? And is this country now an airport hotel for migrants, where the local people are impoverished, are unable to support their own families, and migrants are put in hotels, or in really lovely, beautiful hotels, while the local people are treated like SH1T. And so I will walk up a mountain tomorrow with him, because he lives near a mountain, and we walk this mountain frequently together, and we will work out whether we've lost. and we will come back down from the mountain, working out whether we lost. Because I don't think what I think is so fascinating about the American response to this is like, yeehaw, fuck them. You know, it's like, good for you, say your stuff. But in the UK, we basically, I've said this before and I will say it again, we are not a democratic, secular liberal democracy. We are a country attached to a socialist healthcare system, which takes £170 billion a year to fund. And that is, without subsidy, 70% of the UK tax burden. So I pay my taxes, and I can't get an appointment to see a National Health Service doctor. I cannot. I watch people die on waiting lists. We have the record. We have 7.9 million people waiting on waiting lists in the belief that the socialist system will save them. It won't. So I'm wondering and worrying whether the UK has fallen totally. And I would like to explore the idea of what exists outside of it, you know, but I can't because of my bail conditions, innit?
Right. You would if you weren't going to be in prison. You're not going to be in prison. I would like to recommend the United States to you. We're not quite where you guys are. We do have the beautiful First Amendment, which sadly many young people want to get rid of and don't believe in, but the vast majority of Americans still do. Though it's not what it used to be, you can still say what you want over here. The cancellation war is losing. They are losing. Okay, it's happening. Autumn's settling in. The Christmas decorations have already made their appearance in corner after corner. I don't know about your neighborhood, but I've already seen them. But before we allow the shopping stress and the madness to take over, take a moment to think about this. Many families have chosen to embrace experiences and family gifts rather than the frenzy of individual shopping. And now is the perfect time to order the ultimate family gift, a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas. A Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas combines the benefits of both a hot tub and an exercise pool. Michael Phelps swim spas come in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small one. Installation can take less than a day, and since it's heated, you can use it year-round in any climate. Michael Phelps swim spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. Order yours today. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.